Hello, Rivermen and SPHL fans. Welcome to the video and thanks for watching. In this video, I'm basically just going to recap the Game 1 matchups of Round 2 for both teams. And I'll make this brief. I swear this time I'll make this brief. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We'll start with Bulls in Knoxville. Kind of started out just the way it did against the Dogs. Ice Bears quickly found themselves in a 3-0 hole, and it stayed 3-0 till it got to the last period of the game. And then, Knoxville made somewhat of a comeback effort and notched 2 goals and made it a close one at 3-2. But right there at the end of the third, Bulls hit him with a dagger and got that 4th goal and went on to win Game 1. Andrew Ballant had one hell of a game for the Bulls, and the Ledzianko brothers once again continuing their hot streak. I think Billiam is the one that notched the goal, and his brother had an assist. Those guys have been lights out for the Bulls lately. And, another strong performance by the defense and goaltending for the Bulls. A few key mistakes for Ice Bears cost them on a couple of goals. And Bulls capitalized. That's what they kind of been doing. And got the job done. And now they're in Birmingham for the next game, and if necessary, Game 3. Now, Knoxville did come back on Roanoke in the first round after going down their first game and not looking great. Can they do it twice in a row against another great team that's hot? I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. My gut feeling heading into this series before a puck was dropped was that the Bulls were going to take this series, so I'm not going to waver from that. And it's not because Ice Bears suck or anything like that I'm saying that. Ice Bears have shown they're capable of coming back in a series and winning it. It's just really hard to repeat that process against 2 strong teams like Dogs and Bulls. Bulls were playing great hockey leading up to the playoffs. They've been playing great hockey in the playoffs. So they haven't lost in the playoffs. They swept Marksman, and now they won Game 1. So, it's going to be a tough task for Knoxville to get over that hump. But they could very well push this to a Game 3. And anything could happen in a Game 3. We'll just have to wait and see for that. Moving on to the Rivermen game. Not much positive to say in that if you're a Rivermen fan. I will say the defense wasn't that bad, honestly, for the Rivermen. It's not like Evansville Thunderbolts lit us up on the score sheet or even with shots on goal starting out in that game. But the offense just didn't show up for the Rivermen. 7 shots on goal through 2 periods of play. I've been racking my brain. I can't think of one game that's happened to us in against anybody. I can't think of a time Evansville Thunderbolts played that good on defense against any team. They picked a hell of a time to really show up on defense and really frustrate the Rivermen's offensive game. You look at the stats. Rivermen coming in first place team, obviously ranked number 1 on offense, number 1 on the power play and penalty kill, and they just had no answers. And they were a little sloppy with the puck, whiffing on some shots, not really connecting well on passes. just really didn't have it in that game. But you still got to credit the Thunderbolts defense. They did show up. They executed well, and they did what they had to do. They gave Riverman no good looks really at CC, no sustained pressure on CC. CC did what he needed to do in getting the shutout and stopping the pucks thrown at him. But there wasn't a lot of second chance opportunities for the Rivermen. We didn't really establish the zone that well. Not very good traffic in front of CC. Just our offensive game wasn't there. Latinovich had a decent game. It's not like he was tested really that much. Breakaway goal because, again, we whiffed on a puck with the offense. Turned it over. Skated down. Latinovich sold out way too early. And it was an easy put in for the goal. I don't understand why Latinovich sold out that early, but it really doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't, because we weren't scoring a goal with that effort anyway. So regardless of the fact if that shot should have been stopped or not, if we were going to continue to play like that, then at some point in time, Bolts would have just scored in overtime. Anyway, our offense wasn't there, and the Bolts defense was. To me, I give an A+ to Bolts defense. To me, that was a majority of the reason they won that game, because they stifled the Rivermen and just not letting them get any good looks at CC. No real second chance opportunities. No real bad rebounds given up by CC. I didn't really see one shot that challenged them like, oh, that could have gone in, or... No, they were pretty standard saves, and, like I said, CC did his job at net, got the shutout. Kudos to CC, another shutout, who's been lights out in the playoffs. But with an offensive effort like that, you're not gonna get too many goals on a great goalie like CC. You can't let him get comfortable like that. You got to put him under siege and get traffic in front of him and pucks on the net if you hope to beat him. I mean, what he did against the Thunderbolts in his last two games, or what the Thunderbolts did, CC against the Havoc, 47 save shutout, and then 61 shots on goal. So the defense wasn't that great. That was all CC. I mean, 47 for 47, that's a tough ask for any goalie on any type of ice, home or away, to be 47 for 47. And then when usually you get 61 shots on goal, you win that game. But CC and the Bolts had other plans. And tonight they just kind of kept it rolling, did what they needed to do, executed well, took advantage of Rivermen being off their game, and won it. Midway through the second period, I even put a post up on the site. Like it was like we were trying to give the game away. I just didn't see an effort. 3 shots total in the second period for the Rivermen. 3 shots only. I have no answers for that on how you don't get more than 3 shots with a number 1 ranked offense. And when we had a power play, I think maybe even 2 power plays in the second, and still only 3 shots on goal. I mean, that's unacceptable. It doesn't matter if we're playing the Thunderbolts. You're not going to win too many games that you only get 7 shots on goal in 2 periods of play, and none of them being real quality shots either. So, all that being said, Friday's a new day. Just like the Knoxville Ice Bears can come back on Bulls, and just like they did against the Dogs, just like the Rivermen last year came back in the championship going down game 1 and winning 2 in a row, it can be done. Winning game 1 does not guarantee you the series win by any stretch of the imagination. If I'm the Evansville Thunderbolts, I close this game out at all costs in Evansville. You do not want this game coming back to Peoria. You want to end it and end it now, Friday night in Evansville. You're asking for trouble bringing it back to Peoria. Despite what this game was, it's playing with fire if you go to a game 3 and come back to Peoria. So whatever you need to do to keep what you just did flowing, do it. Write it down, remember it, take a picture, and replicate it in Evansville. And you could possibly sweep your way to your first ever President Cup Championship final matchup. And in that matchup, if Evansville happens to move on, you could be facing a 6-seeded Knoxville that isn't exactly tearing it up, just squeaking by, or you'll be facing a number 4 Bulls team that, even though it's hot, the Thunderbolts have played the Bulls very, very well the past couple of seasons and is more than capable of upsetting them. So the ball is in Thunderbolts' court. They got advantage now. Now they got the home ice advantage by winning game 1, and they can close it out in Evansville. I suggest you do that. And same with the Bulls. Don't let Knoxville back in this. I suggest you close it out in Birmingham in game number 2. And don't let that game number 3 happen. Just ask Roanoke. So there you have it. I think for Knoxville and Evansville to move on, they need this, for I don't know why I said Knoxville, but for Evansville to move on, I think you really need this sweep. And you guys are capable of doing just that. We'll see how it goes. I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I don't know what to expect with Knoxville and Bulls. I mean, that could go either way. I could see Knoxville taking game 2, but I can also see Bulls sweeping this series and moving on to the championship final. So we'll just have to wait and see with that. And same with Evansville. Like I said, if Evansville can replicate the performance they put on in Peoria, they have a damn good shot at sweeping this series and moving on to their first ever final matchup appearance. Rivermen got their work cut out for them, but if anybody can come back from a 1-game deficit in a 3-game series, it's the Peoria Rivermen. This series ain't over yet. They're not dead yet. They're still alive, but they got to show up, and they got to play Rivermen-style hockey if they want to take this series back and move on to their second consecutive championship final. So I'll catch you at the next puck drop, and I always keep it Rivermen style.